I've grown 2 businesses to 100K a month by 24, and I've helped my clients like Megan go from 10K to 33K a month, or Daniel go from 0 to 76K a month in 2 months, or even Paul Wilkinson go from struggling to scale to 67.5K months, and he had a 39.5K day. And it really is all thanks to what I call the warm traffic system, where you might have an audience already, or maybe you're already posting content, but you're not really turning those followers or those views or attention into actual cash. And so the thing is, a lot of people out there tell you to publicly promote and have a wait list and, oh, there's only 20 more spots available this month, but that's very salesy and it's very cringe. And a lot of my clients, when they were first working with me, didn't like it. So I actually found a way to be able to, what I call, give value in public and sell in private. And so in this video, I'm just gonna give away my exact system that I actually teach my private clients and just give it away to you for free in this YouTube video in terms of how exactly to turn followers into dollars. Now, with that being said, this system does use ManyChat, and you do have to install my exact ManyChat templates, but I can't give that to you just because those are for my private clients. But I do give away the scripts for you to be able to send these messages manually instead of ManyChat taking over all the DMs for you. So again, my bad. It's just I had to protect my clients, and it's obviously not fair to my private clients who invested 5 figures or more into me to be able to get my systems, automations, SOPs, etc. Now, with that being said, if you are interested in working with me, just click the link in the description, no pressure. And finally, let's get into the training and the sauce. This is gonna be one of my favorite videos of the entire program, but I will give you a fair warning. This video is gonna be quite long because I have a lot to cover. But if you do this right, you'll be able to, again, no income claims because I legally can't do that, but let's just say I'm fairly confident that you'll be able to use these exact systems to be able to make a quick return on your investment of this program and be able to chill and relax. Or not chill and relax, I still want you to put in work and still scale to the moon, but be able to take a breath, breathe a little bit, because you already made your money back from the program with this specific system I'm about to show you. Now, a couple other warnings before I get into it. There's 2 scenarios. You can make a lot of money with this, great, and I'll show you through the rest of the program how to keep scaling and how to optimize things even further. And number 2 is this might not work, okay? Quite frankly, if this doesn't work, then I don't want you to sweat. I don't want you to be panicking. If anything, that's why we have this program. It's because later on in the program, from weeks 2 to 7, maybe there's something wrong with your foundations or your system or your offer, your ideal client profile, whatever it is, we'll be able to fix all of it later on in this program. So the whole point of this system is just to be able to give you all the best strategies to be able to make money and land a ton of clients really quickly. But am I promising you that? No, but I am saying that this will give you the tools, systems, and automations, like literally everything you need to be able to monetize your existing audience. And so that's why we call it the warm traffic system. So let's get into it. So number 1 is I want you to make a copy of this. So all you have to do on all my Google Docs of all the Google Docs in this program, you're able to just click this link, and when you click it, it'll just be able to make a copy. All right, so I thought I would get that out of the way. But then number 2, this is how the system works. So you have your existing audience, and then we're going to get people to DM you through our inbound systems, as well as you'll be reaching out to people in your existing audience, people that follow you, watches your stories, likes or comments on your posts. So these aren't spammy cold DMs where you're DMing strangers. You're simply just going to be reaching out to people already in your audience so they already trust you. Maybe they're just a little scared or they're just a little nervous to DM you. So that's why you got to go first and reach out to them if they don't DM you. Then once we get them into the DMs, if they came from inbound, we have our ManyChat inbound sequences that'll automatically do the entire conversation for you and book a call. And for outbound, you're gonna have to do it manually, but I'll go over that. It's pretty soon. Later on in the program, I'll show you how to install a warm outbound AI setter that would take over the conversations once a prospect replies. But that requires go high level in another software, and we don't really have a lot of time. And that would be too complicated to set that up right here in week 1. So we will be going over that later in the program. And then once you book in all these calls, right, you're gonna be talking to people on Google Meet or Zoom, whatever you chose earlier. And beauty about this is if you want to have your camera on, you can. If you don't want to have your camera on, you don't have to. If anything, I usually don't have my camera on. And the reason being is because I like to take notes and I don't want the prospect to see me taking notes as I am talking to them. So even for me, like a guy like me, I don't even have my camera on these calls. Then once you have a couple calls, hopefully you close some of those and you make money off of this. Now, obviously, as I said, if this goes well, you'll make a lot of money. And if not, like I said, we'll just restructure everything and make sure everything's good moving forward later on in the program in terms of everything going on in your business. So no sweat either way, but this is designed to give you all the systems to be able to get a quick ROI. So that being said, let's get into it. So usually when I taught this in the past, I would go right into getting you to post an Instagram story like right now. And I still will later on in this video. But for the first time ever, I'm actually giving away my exact ManyChat templates away. So if you didn't know, I discovered this ManyChat thing about 3 years ago by one of my original mentors. And so he really opened my eyes to not really having to rely on a DM team, because ManyChat could actually replace DM setters, at least inbound wise. And so I will show you exactly how to set this up. But just know, in terms of inbound DMs, you don't have to do this manually. At least you don't have to do like 95% of the work manually, because my ManyChat stuff will be able to do it. Okay, so before we get into ManyChat, let me just go over the script first. So when people DM you off of stories or off your reels or TikToks or whatever it is, it usually says, hey, thanks for connecting. I'll get you all the details in a second. Cool if I ask you a couple quick questions first, see if my group can even be of help to you. So that's just permission-based selling. We always want the prospect to feel like they're in control, because if they don't, they're gonna feel like they're being sold to and they're gonna leave you on red. So we always ask permission first. Then they say yes. Then we say, thank you so much. First, what's your email in case I lose you? Sorry, a lot of people message me at the same time. So pretty soon, later on in this program, we'll be using Go High Level. So when Go High Level sees an email on your Instagram convo, it'll automatically save their contact as an email lead in Go High Level. So very, very soon, right, we'll be able to collect all these emails. But for now, we're just building the right foundation, so we just ask for it anyway. Then we say, you're amazing, thank you. Next, to get outcome my way will require time. So pretty much you just gotta sell the dream. All right, what is the dream? I'm not talking about the mechanism, what is the dream? So I always say it, I think I said it in a previous video already, Maui TSA. Maui is amazing, it's beautiful, the waves, the ocean, the crisp breeze, the weather, the hot sun, it just all feels so good. But to get there, it's TSA, right? You're cramped, like it's an hour wait to get through security, right? All the electromagnetic rate, I don't even know what it's called, but you have to go through that security thing and they scan you. And maybe you get patted down, or maybe you're in economy because maybe you're not in first class, whatever it is, and you're like tight and you're in a middle seat. Like that sucks, right? So we don't want to do that when we're trying to get people to see the dream, okay? So what are different outcomes, okay? So if you're like a business coach, example like coaches and creators, it would be like next to land more clients this week my way. Or if it is a business opportunity coach, it could be to build 2 to 4K a month profit on the side. If it is dating, it could be to get 5 dates with 5 women in the next 5 weeks my way, well, blah, 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 blah. Or if it is relationships, it could be next to get your dream girl my way, blah, 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 blah. And then you want to require a time. So this could either be per day or per week. If it's per day, I usually recommend try to keep it within 1 to 2 hours. I usually say my way will require an hour a day. If it's more than 2 hours, fine. Just try not to make it like 5 hours a day, because that's a lot. If it is, fine. Just make sure to tell the truth. But ideally, the shorter, the better. And if it applies and maybe your market resonates more, you could also do per week. So usually I do my way require an hour a day. Or if I'm talking to someone a little bit more professional and skeptical, mine's usually my way will require 5 to 10 hours a week. It really just depends. And you'll see later on with our market research what resonates the best. And then we say, could you do that? And so the beauty about this is it kind of implies that they'll get the outcome. So instead of saying like, you're gonna get XYZ, we're gonna say, you're gonna get XYZ and it will require about an hour a day. Can you handle that? Can you swing that? So now it implies our statement is true and it puts the pressure back on them. And then they say, yes, I can do that. Then I'll be like, so good. Next one's a little broader. So where's your thing at now? And where would you want it to be? Trying to get a clearer picture if I could even be of help to you. So here's the thing. With the thing, we've already gone over that in the Calendly section. So whatever you said for your Calendly in terms of where's your blank now and where do you want it to be, just do the same thing here, okay? It's basically just a measurable category in your industry, or if it's not measurable, you could do scale of 1 to 10. So example, where's your weight now? Where's your revenue now? Where's your profit now? How many dates are you going on per week now? Whatever it is, like a measurable thing to track their progress that they care about. And if it's not something measurable, then you scale of 1 to 10. So like on a scale of 1 to 10, how quality are the women you're meeting? Where would you want that quality to be? Or on a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate your life? And where would you want it to be? So it just depends on your industry. Just make sure it's something measurable that they care about. And then after they say, I'm at blank and I want to be at blank, well, guess what? There's always a gap. So there's always something slowing them down and they're not where they want to be. So then I'm like, got it. I've been at this for X months, just whatever time frame you've been doing or you've been in the industry, not coaching necessarily, but just like how long have you been doing whatever you're doing? So example, I am a business coach. I've been in business for about actually almost 7 years now. So I usually say I've been at this for 7 years. Now, if you're 3 years or less, I'd probably recommend do months. So example, let's say you've been doing this for 2 years and 10 months. Quick math, that's about 34 months. So 34 months sounds a lot better than 2 years. It just sounds like it's longer. So if it's less than 3 years, do months. If it's more than 3 years, do years instead of months. Just want to say, even though you're not there yet, I do think you have what it takes. Last one, what do you think is missing? They say whatever, blah, 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 blah. Understood. Should I let you schedule a quick call with me to help you reach your goals? Now, if you have closers, you could replace quick call with me with quick call with my team. Obviously, you don't have these parentheses and or if you have closers, just pick one. Quick call with me or quick call with my team, depending on if you have closers or not. I would assume you don't, but just in case you do, I just put it in here just in case. Would that help? Again, we're kind of just being more permission-based selling. We don't want to push it on them. We don't want to jam their throat. We just want to ask like, hey, I could do this. Like, would that even help you? They're like, actually, yeah, that would help. And then you say, cool. So let's do this. Pick a time that works for you here. You send over your calendar link and just let me know when you're set so I can confirm on my calendar too. So that is the whole ManyChat sequence. And then actually, if they don't respond to this question, the ManyChat will also be able to follow up with name, any trouble with the calendar link. That's 30 minutes if they don't book, 6 to 8 hours if they don't book. You say, want to chat about this? You can tell me whatever. I'm impossible to offend. And then 17 hours later, it says, have you given up on this project? Now, if they do respond to cool, like the very last message, then you are going to have to send these manually. And I do have a ManyChat tag that will make this really easy for you, but thought I'll just let you know this isn't all automated. It's only up to this point where it's automated. And then once they book, there is a way to automate this on Go High Level, but for now, we don't have Go High Level set up. So you are going to have to send this post-book call message manually. So right when they book, you say, boom, just marked on my calendar and let my team know about our roadmap call. Can't wait to connect with you. And then optional, if you do have results on your Instagram story highlights, then you could also send them your story highlights like this. Also, before the call, just give these short 3 to 5 minute story highlights to watch to learn more about what we do and who we help. Now, again, you don't need this. It definitely does help. And moving forward, with the story highlights, if you don't have story highlights up of your testimonials, results, we're talking about like screenshots of your community of people winning or people DMing you or people texting you of getting great results, or if someone has a great win and they shot you a vertical video testimonial, or you have any client interviews or student interviews, just make sure they're all on your story highlights so that you could send them. So that's very optional. If you do have results, then definitely recommend this. If not, it's all good. We'll move on. Then finally, if it is the morning of the call or the day before the call, then you shoot over a quick voice memo. Hey name, it's Name. Just wanted to say I'm looking forward to chatting with you today at time. I'm dropping a Zoom link for you here too. Just wanted to reach out and looking forward to connecting. Now, if you do have a VA, a virtual assistant, or if you want to automate this slightly, but if you do this yourself, it's not really that automated. You can just record a non-customized version where you take out name and you take out time. So you could just record on your phone on a voice memo. Hey, it's Renzo. Just want to say I'm looking forward to chatting with you today. I'm dropping a Zoom link for you here too. Just wanted to reach out and looking forward to connecting. And oh, totally forgot. If you're doing Zoom or Google Meet, then obviously change it to whatever you got. just wanted to reach out and looking forward to connecting. And then what you would do is just, you would have that voice memo, you upload it to Google Drive, and then you play the audio file on your laptop. And then when you're on Instagram, you just hold voice memo in the DMs, and then your phone will get the audio from the laptop because it's playing out loud, and then boom. Now you send a voice memo without having to actually say it. But obviously, if you're doing it manually, then there's really no point. You might as well just say it at that point. But if you have a VA who's sending these messages for you, then that's what I typically do. I just have that Google Drive, and then I send that file to my VA, and then my VA just plays it out loud on her laptop while she holds the voice memo button in the DMs. So that is the inbound script. Now let's go over how to actually set this up on ManyChat. So this is going to be very underwhelming when you first click it because it looks like 3 things as you see here. But I promise you, you're also going to get this script as well when you download it. And this is going to be a lot. So you'll see. So all you have to do is you're going to hit save to ManyChat. And then I'll just save it to my own account. And then you're going to view flow. And then you should have a folder called imported from Renzo Guevara. And then you should see 2 things. You should see direct comment CTA template and direct DM CTA template. And both of them should say Calendly version. So we actually are going to give you a different ManyChat template in the future, probably in week 4, where once we have our VSL funnel built out, we're actually going to send over our VSL funnel instead of a Calendly. So it's a slightly different script, but very, very similar, but just look out for that in the future. So you're going to do the comment first because it's the easiest. Oh, wait, no, that's the DM. My bad. You're going to do the comment CTA first because it's the easiest. And then all you want to do is just click this, you hit continue, and then just change the keyword to a keyword that is 4 to 6 letters long, 1 syllable, and is something directly related to your industry, ideally if it's outcome focused. So example, for coaches and creators, we help people land more clients, grow their business, blah, blah, blah. So like my keywords would probably be grow, 4 letters long, 1 syllable. It could also be scale, 5 letters long, 1 syllable. For some of my previous companies, when I was doing BizOp or business opportunity, it could be cash, it could be home, it could be phone, since I used to help people type messages on their phone and make money. What else? It could be booked if you're helping people book calls. Now, if you're in different industries, right? What about fitness, building muscle? You could do build. If you're trying to lose weight, I mean, you could do weight. I don't know if that's like a great keyword because for some people it might be hard to spell. It might be hard to spell. You could do lose. I don't know if that's a good one. A simple one is always yes, like YES is good. But just think about it, like 4 to 6 letters long. Maybe if you're a dating coach, you could do dates. If it's like dream girl, you could comment dream or DM dream. So, 4 to 6 letters long, 1 syllable. When in doubt, just ask Claude, and Claude will give you a bunch of ideas. And if you don't know what Claude is, I hope you do. It's an AI, better than ChatGPT. I'll go over that later. So all you're going to do is you're going to replace the keyword. Okay, so example, let's say let's just do a random one. Let's do test, for example, just to show you guys this is a test. Then you want to turn it on, or you hit continue. And then I have a couple options for you. So if you don't get a lot of comments or you're not getting like a crazy amount of views and you're not going crazy viral, then feel free to keep these DMs or these replies. So basically when someone comments on your post, then ManyChat will automatically respond to that comment or reply to that comment. So example, what we do is we always ask for permission to send them a DM. Not because we actually want it, because we're going to send them a DM regardless. But when we ask permission to send a DM, they're going to say yes. So think about it. One comment is them commenting the keyword. We ask for permission on a second comment, replying to them, and then they're going to say yes. So that's actually one comment turned into 3 comments, which sparks your engagement and gets you more views. But if you do have too many comments, you are going to get low-key banned from commenting on Instagram for a while. I've had to learn that the hard way. So if you're going crazy viral right now, let's say you're pretty good at content and you're getting millions of views, probably just do no. Just click no instead of this. But if you don't have as many comments, then feel free to customize these. Just the basic principle, just ask for permission. But if this isn't how you text or DM, then feel free to change this to match more your voice and your style. Then you're gonna hit save. Now I'm gonna leave this off just because I don't want people to actually comment, test, and then get this triggered, but you leave this on. Don't actually turn it off. Then you're gonna do, hey, first name, appreciate the comment. Just tap the button below so we could chat about the details. and then boom. Then it takes you to the direct DM CTA template. So the reason I had to do a different template, or the reason I had to do a different template for comments is for people that specifically comment, you can't DM them right away. You first have to send them like this button first on Instagram, and then you'll be able to DM them. So that's why these are separate instead of on the same template. But luckily, ManyChat makes it easy. So when I send you, or when you download this comment CTA template, you automatically get the DM CTA template too. So then you go to the DM CTA template. Now, unfortunately, ManyChat pretty much removes the DM trigger. So you are gonna have to make this DM trigger yourself, but really easy. Just do new trigger, user sends a message, detect specific keyword, do message is, don't do contains, because if they do DM you your keyword in a separate part of the conversation, or let's say your word is grow, like mine. And then later on in later on in your DM convo, they also say like, yeah, like I'm struggling with growing. Then it's still gonna trigger it, and then the ManyChat sequence would trigger again, and it would be weird. So just trust me, do message is, and then just pick your keyword. So again, my keyword is just gonna be test just for demonstrations, but actually pick a good keyword that's relatable and memorable to your industry. So I'm gonna do test, and then I recommend doing quotation marks tests, and then single quotation mark keyword. Okay, so keyword, quotation marks, keyword, and then single quotation marks keywords. You create. Again, I'm gonna turn this off just because I don't want people to actually DM me, but you keep it on. And then I don't think you should have this because I literally downloaded this back to the same original ManyChat account. So that's why I have these dates and times. But just in case you see these dates and times, make sure to not have them. So just select all. I think you 1, 2, 3. So you click it 3 times and then just type started chat. This is just important to mark leads that already DM'd us, so we're not DMing them the same exact thing. And it also just helps us keep track of stats. And then for tag is VLD. Again, you just want to make sure it's not the date or time. Okay, so just if there's a date or time, just look up VLD and then click that. Then over here, let's say, so VLD basically stands for if you already sent your calendar link. That's basically what it means. It means something else, but just for now, it just means you sent a calendar link. So if you already sent the calendar link, we don't want to take them through the same exact conversation again, right? They would know it's a bot. So instead, we just keep it nice and short. We say, sweet, book a time on my calendar and I'll break down all the details for you. And then you send your calendar link. Now, if we haven't sent our calendar link before, then we take them through the real conversation. So again, it's the same script I just went over. Yo, great timing. I'll get you all the details in a sec. You don't have to customize that. You don't have to customize this either. We get their email. And then here, this is where we change whatever we put in the outcome and time. So just change whatever you put for outcome and whatever you put for time over here. Okay, result, time. Could you swing that? Next one's a little broader. And then whatever you put for, let me move this here. Or actually, let me just take it out. And then whatever you put for where's your thing at now, you simply replace over here. You don't have to change that. Not change that. And then you simply just add your calendar link over here. Now again, same thing. If you have dates and time, just make sure to take out the date time. So triple click 1, 2, 3, VLD, and then here, just triple click 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Calendly responded. Boom. And then if you go down right here, triple click, and then just make sure it's follow-ups done without any dates. And again, we don't want dates because you're gonna see we'll be able to sort out conversations based on tags. So it's really important everything is the same exact tag, and if it's different dates and times, it's a different tag, and it'll be hard to manage everything. And then all these other things you see here, these are just follow-ups. And I made the follow-ups so they're general for everybody and they still work. So you don't have to change anything here. Now, if you do want to like customize everything, I don't really recommend, but if you are really good with DMs already and you want to customize this, basic gist is if you want them to continue a convo after a prospect replies, just do next step and then make sure the very last field is a waiting for text from contact. Okay, or if you're collecting an email, waiting for email from contact. And then a couple caveats. If it's email specifically, make sure to turn these two on, and then make sure retry is 0 times. If it's anything other than 0 times, it's gonna keep asking for their email, and your client is, or your prospect is going to know it's a bot. And then if you want to send follow-ups, the thing is, ManyChat only allows you to DM within 24 hours of a prospect's response. So you just have to keep that in mind when structuring your follow-ups. So for our follow-ups, it's always going to be 27 minutes if they haven't responded. And then this is about 6 hours if they haven't responded to the last follow-up. This is going to be 17 hours if they haven't responded to the last follow-up. And then the last follow-up is 1 day. Okay, actually, okay, I messed this up. Okay. This means the next follow-up is going to trigger in 27 minutes. The next follow-up after this is going to trigger in 6 hours. The next follow-up after this is going to trigger in 17 hours. And then the last follow-up, it's going to give it a day for them to respond. And if they respond to the last follow-up within a day, it continues. And if not, then it triggers our tagged follow-ups done for you to be able to sort out the convo in the chat section. I'll show you how to do that in a bit. And then for them to simply move on, you just do next step to the next step, and it will only move on if they reply to whatever you said. All right. And then for here, you could do conditions like we do VLD so that we don't send it if they already got a counter link before. We add started chat just to keep track of stats. And then let me think about anything else. And then we do Calendly responded just for you to be able to manage follow-ups if they reply to the counter link, but they haven't booked. So again, I will show you how to do all of this, or actually, I'll just show it to you now just so I can get out of the way. So what happens is, if you go to live chat, then I already deleted all my contacts, didn't I? All right, no, I didn't. All you do is you go to filter, and then here's a couple things you would look for. So one is Calendly responded. These are like the hottest leads. They just responded to your counter link. So here, at the time I'm recording this, most of my audience is still beginners. I'm sure it'll be way better by the time you're watching this. But anyways, so this is for my BizOp offer, and he responded to the link. Cool. So then I would just trigger my follow-ups, or I would just respond manually to this to make sure he books or to send the follow-up. Now, if you're really ambitious and someone replies to follow-ups done, all right, hold on, my bad. If you go to tag, you can look up follow-ups done, apply, and then you could take over a combo if they, went through the sequence but they didn't finish and we hit them with our last follow-up. And then maybe if they respond, then you could keep the combo going. So that's pretty much it. And then the other thing I'll show you is, I think if you go to home, no, you go to contacts, this is how we're able to keep track of stats and conversion rates. Is as if you see here, we have started chats, we have VLDs. Now the data is going to be a little bit skewed depending on your sequences, but with the sequences I gave you, you should see a decent conversion rate between started chats and VLDs. Mine's a little bit different just because some of my sequences don't require a VLD. So again, just don't worry about this, but it's a way to keep track of stats. All right, so that is our inbound sequence. Now let's go over our lead magnet sequence. So I'm gonna show you how to actually get people to DM you for a lead magnet, which we made earlier. So again, we have a ManyChat template for this for people that DM us, but again, let me go over the script. So we're gonna say, yo, gonna shoot the whatever form of a lead magnet you have. So if it's like a doc, you could say, gonna shoot my free doc over to you. If it's a cheat sheet, you could say, yo, gonna shoot the free cheat sheet over to you. If it is a free course, you could say, yo, gonna shoot the free course over to you. If it's a video, you could say, yo, gonna shoot the free training or the free masterclass over to you. Just call it something, whatever the medium of the lead magnet is. What's your best email to send it? They send their email. We say, sweet. Here's the link. Same thing. Whatever you said here, you say it here. Send a link to the whatever lead magnet is. And then we have something called a spear question. Now, a spear question basically stands for short, personal, expecting a reply. And it's basically a non-salesy casual question to start a sales conversation. I know that's a little bit hypocritical, non-salesy, but start a sales conversation. So it's kind of like a casual question, like, by the way, blah, blah, blah. So examples, some of mine were, by the way, what kind of clients are you looking for? By the way, how long have you been coaching for? Or how long have you been in business for? By the way, have you ever made money online before? By the way, hold on, let me take out the ManyChat stuff so there's no sound. By the way, have you ever been on 5 dates in a week before? Okay, that might be a little too salesy. Don't do that. But if it's like fitness, like, by the way, what diets have you tried before? Or by the way, do you lift weights or do you do more body weight? So it could be a couple different frameworks. It could be how long you've been doing X before, like how long you've been in business for, how long you've been working out for, how long you've been trying to date for, or how long you've been looking for a girlfriend. Okay, it really just depends, okay? How long you've been doing X for. You could also do X or Y. So example, have you made money online before, or is this your first time? Or are you trying to scale, or are you just trying to get off the ground? If you're doing like business coaching. If it's dating, it could be, are you looking for a relationship, or are you just trying to have a good time? If it is, let's see, fitness, it could be, are you focusing more on working out or on dieting? So again, X or Y. And then other things could be like what kind of blank. So example, what kind of clients are you looking for? What kind of business are you looking to start? What kind of workouts are you doing? What kind of girls are you into? Something like that. So we have that. And let me think about anything else that would be good for you guys. And then, have you ever done X before? So example, have you ever started a business before? Have you ever ran ads before? Have you ever dated a 10 out of 10? Have you ever tried keto? Or have you ever dieted before? Or have you ever lifted weights before? So as you see, like, these are questions that are very relevant to your niche, and it will help you steer into a sales conversation, but it doesn't seem that salesy. It's just like, by the way, XYZ, super casual question. So when in doubt, just ask Claude, but again, just use your brain, right? Use one of the frameworks I gave you and just pick a question that doesn't seem that salesy, but still steers in the sales conversation. Once they say whatever, beauty about this is we could literally say that's interesting, and it will apply to everything that they said. So that's interesting if it helps. I'm doing a private group for a few people like you who want outcome. Again, sell the dream, Maui, not TSA, whatever the outcome is that we went over earlier. Again, just a quick reminder, it is whatever we said here to get outcome. We're also gonna say the same thing over here. And then if you want, you could change people to your exact niche. So let's say you're targeting busy moms if you're a fitness coach. You could do busy moms. Let's say you're targeting college, okay, I wouldn't recommend college students, but let's say you hypothetically were targeting college men trying to get girls. You could say, looking for a few college men like you who want blah, blah, blah. Or maybe not men, that sounds kind of creepy. Maybe college guys like you, blah, blah, blah. If you're doing business, like let's say you're targeting coaches like me, it could be, I'm doing a private group for a few coaches like you. So you can replace people with your niche, or if you're not sure, just do people to keep it broad. Then everything else is exactly the same as the inbound. So outcome, time, thing, X years or months, quick outcome call. You don't have to worry about this. It's honestly going to be the exact same script as before on ManyChat. And then appointment link. And yeah, everything else is exactly the same. So if you go to inbound DMs, it's the same. So whatever you put here, 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 and appointment link is going to be the exact same thing. Here, 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 and then this is going to be different on ManyChat. This is like another variation I thought I would add, but it's not really that important, so you don't have to really fill that out. And then just whatever your appointment/calendar link is. And then same thing, it's going to be you send this after they book, and then you send the voice memo before. And then again, I'm just going to do Zoom/Google Meet just to make sure you know you could do either. All right. So now we actually are going to work on the ManyChat sequence. So again, very exact same, or not the same exact sequence, but same drill where you only see the comment version, but you're also going to get the DM version right after. So you're going to save to ManyChat, and then I'm going to put it, or save flow, view flow. And then if I go to automations, now you're going to see two more. You're going to see lead magnet DM template, which is the full script, and you're going to see lead magnet comment template, which is just a comment trigger. So let's just work on the comment trigger real quick. Everything is almost exactly the same as the previous one, all you have to do differently is just change the word to something else. So don't do the same exact keyword as before, as you'll trigger 2 automations at the same time, and don't do that. So pick a word that relates to your lead magnet. So an easy one is always gift, because it's a free lead magnet, so it's a gift. But it could be other things. So example, I use cash or home when I was like promoting my free course. If I'm giving away my DM script, I say script. If I'm giving away my sales script, I say sales. So again, 4 to 6 letters long, 1 syllable, and just try to make it very applicable to your lead magnet, whatever it is. If you're doing like a free document, you could do doc, D-O-C. If you're doing, let's see, what else? Yeah, you just got to figure it out. Okay, 4 to 6 letters long, 1 syllable. When in doubt, just ask Claude. So let's say for this case, I'm going to do gift. Oh, keep editing, continue. And then you have the random multiple replies again. So again, same thing as last time. If you get a lot of comments, don't do this. Just do no. But if you aren't getting a lot of comments, then feel free to keep it. All right, we do this. Oh, hold on. Save. And then everything should be good for here. And yeah, I think that's it. So then we fix the DM template. Oh, one other thing. I'm going to turn this off just so people don't DM me. But you, as I've been saying, you keep it on. All right. Now we go to DM template. And again, ManyChat gets rid of my DM trigger if you download it through the comment way. So we're just gonna have to add, user sends us a message, detect specific words in a message, and message is, and then we're gonna do whatever our keyword is. So example, gift, gift, gift. Okay, just whatever your keyword is, just make sure it's a keyword, quotation mark keywords, single quotation mark keyword. You hit create. I'm going to turn it off because again, I don't want people to actually DM this. And then again, as I've been saying, make sure there's no date or time. I don't think you should have this if you're doing it from a new ManyChat account, but if not, then make sure you take out the date. So again, triple click, 1, 2, 3, start a chat. And then same thing here. Make sure you change the tag to just regular VLD if it has a date or time. And then here, you're gonna say, yo, here's my free lead magnet, whatever medium your lead magnet is. Remember before, it's either like cheat sheet, doc, free course, free training, free masterclass, whatever it is, just say that here. And then you send over the link. If you are sending a Google Drive file for a document or a cheat sheet, please, please, please make sure that you're sending a shareable Google Drive link. Okay, no, a shareable, viewable link. So when you hit share, make sure you click anyone can view, because it's on default on Google Drive, it's private. Okay, so if you're sending private links, nobody will be able to see it. Then, how we book calls is like right here. By the way, if it helps, you could book a free 45-minute roadmap call with me below. And then you send over your Calendly link over there. So that's if you already sent the Calendly link before, but if you haven't sent it, then we'll give them the full sequence. So over here, yo, gonna shoot the free lead magnet over to you. It's just whatever you said over here for name of lead magnet. Same thing here, just whatever you said for the lead magnet, you put the lead magnet link, and then whatever your spirit question you decided, you put it here. So it's BTW, and then whatever the spirit question is. Like, by the way, what kind of clients are you looking for? By the way, have you lifted weights before? By the way, do you like Asians or Latinas? I don't know. It just depends on like whatever your niche is. Okay, then right here, you're gonna replace niche and result with whatever you're gonna replace niche and result with whatever you put for people and whatever you put for outcome. All right. Oh, and then we're gonna keep going. And then here, outcome and time. You're gonna replace that with outcome and time, or with whatever you put for outcome and time here. Next thing is, where's your thing at now? Blah, blah, blah. Same thing, whatever you put here, you put here. And then, like I said, you don't have to worry about this extra script, because I put the same thing on ManyChat to keep it simple. But if you want to test this out, you can try it, but again, not really needed, because on ManyChat, it'll just be the same thing as the other script. Then from here, you'll have the Calendly link. So you just insert the link to the Calendly here, And then just remember, if you do have a date or time here, just make sure to triple click and just do regular VLD. And then here, triple click and just do regular Calendly responded. And then here, triple click, regular follow-ups done. And then you hit update and boom. Now, if you have all your triggers on, I'd just definitely recommend make sure you double check that this trigger's on. You'll see it. If you turn it on, it'll be green. If it's off, it'll be gray. So make sure it's all green. I'm turning it off because I don't want people to actually DM me. And then just double check all of them, okay? So you have your DM template, which I think we were literally just on. And then we'll check the lead magnet comment template, which is over here. Make sure this is on. Oh, let me go back. Right here, direct DM CTA template. Make sure this is on. And then finally, direct comment CTA template. Then make sure this is on. Then once all of those are on, I would actually test it. So if you have a second account on Instagram, let's say you have a burner or a spam account, maybe you're low-key a hater. No, I'm just kidding. Let's say you have a second account, then just DM your main account the keywords. So a big thing about this is make sure you finish the full sequence before you test another sequence. So example, a big mistake I see a lot of people when testing is they try to start a new sequence, but they didn't fully finish it. So what do I mean by that? If you don't respond to the last DM, like cool, here's the counter link, cool, and you try to send a keyword right after this, it's not gonna work. It's still waiting for your response. So just make sure you say cool or got it or whatever once your ManyChat sends this last message. And then once you respond, then the sequence is over. And then you could test out another thing. So definitely try to test out 1, 2, 3, 4. So comment for your lead magnet, DM for your lead magnet, comment for Calendly, DM for your Calendly, etc. Okay. A couple other things about ManyChat. I already showed you how to filter for combos. I will say this does require ManyChat Pro, but I think ManyChat Pro is like $15 a month. It's basically nothing. And the key is you want to delete your contacts every week. So I usually just make it part of my routine every Monday, is that I just gonna select all of them, bulk action, and then I delete. Okay? Because ManyChat bills you based on how many contacts you have. But the crazy part is there's really no benefit to contacts because they still keep their tags, and even if they don't keep their tags, it's not really that deep, doesn't really matter. And you still keep all your stats. Like or actually I'm not exactly sure, but I'm pretty sure, I don't know, hold on. Yeah, like I'm pretty sure all of these stats are still applicable. Maybe I lost some, or maybe I lost some tags, but you still, for the most part, keep your stats. Not really though, but yeah, like they're still gonna trigger from the automations. They're still gonna trigger everything else. Like there's literally no benefit to having contacts. It's only gonna stack up your bills. So just set a reminder every week to delete the contacts. So if you have a VA, just have your VA delete it every week. So that's pretty much it for ManyChat. Let me think about anything else specifically for it. And then a couple other troubleshooting just on Instagram. If you have any trouble, like if it's not responding, then a couple things is make sure to refresh your permissions. All right, so you hit refresh. And then I believe there might be a setting on Instagram to make sure you could trigger automated messages. It might be on your settings, but if you're having trouble with that, there should be a ManyChat FAQ doc. So when in doubt, just go to help, and then you could say get help or go to knowledge base, and you can see what I'm talking about. I don't know the exact steps, and I don't think it's really that important to you right now, but just in case, if you ever have trouble like getting the thing to work, make sure your sequences are turned on, and then also make sure you refresh permissions. And then finally, if you're still having trouble, it might be a setting on your Instagram. So just make sure you go to help, get help, or go to knowledge base and see if there's any way that they've already gone over it. Because obviously ManyChat updates all the time. So by the time you're watching this, I don't know if it's going to be the exact same method. So that is for lead magnets. Again, everything else is the same. Now let's get into warm outreaches. So obviously we're going to get a ton of people DMing you from inbound and people DMing you for a lead magnet. But we still want to be able to maximize what we can control. Because we can't control people DMing us, but we can control the amount of outbounds that we send. Now again, like I said earlier, you're not going to be sending cold DMs to strangers. I mean, you can if you want, but it's not really effective. What we want to do instead is DM warm people, okay? People that already follow you, like or comment on your posts or watches your stories. And so they already trust you, they already follow you, they already know, like, and trust you. But maybe they're just a little scared, or maybe, they haven't had the exact pain yet to reach out to you. But if you reach out to them, they'll become a little bit more interested because you personally are like, damn, like, this guy actually reached out to me. And so it's not spammy, because I don't know about you, but think about any of your favorite celebrities or anybody you follow on Instagram. If they DM'd you and you never had a conversation before, you're probably gonna think like, damn, that's low-key cool, you reached out to me. I didn't know I was like that important to him. So that's kind of the psychology of how warm outreach works. So it's actually, your prospects do like it. It's not a bad thing at all. So a couple of things is we'll show you how to install our outbound AI setter later on in the program. So once you DM somebody and they reply back, then we can actually have AI take over the entire conversation. But this does require Go High Level, which is our CRM we're gonna use eventually, and another software to install, which is gonna cost a little bit of money, and also it's gonna be very complicated to set up later. So for now, you'll just have to send these outbound messages manually, okay? But just know it won't be forever. Just once we get to the AI setter part, you'll have an AI setter be able to handle the responses. So what I want you to do is reach out to every person who looks like a prospect, who watches your story, likes your post, comments on your post, or follows you. Again, that's like the quad, right? The 4 things of how we are gonna find prospects. And then how do you reach out? You don't have to follow them. It does help, but I like to keep my follower to following ratio low. So I don't actually follow people, but it definitely does help be a little bit more believable of you actually DMing them and like generally caring about them if you follow them. You could always unfollow them later. Then like and comment on their last 3 posts, react to your last story with a fire emoji, and then DM them hey name, wave emoji if it's a girl, or hey name, strong emoji if it's a guy. I've tested like almost every opening DM, and hey name always works. It's just so much better than any other combo. Because you don't know what someone's intention is. Like, it just opens the loop of curiosity so much because you don't know exactly what someone's intentions are by hey name. So you just get the response. Now, a couple rules. You can only send 10 DMs max in one sitting. So what do I mean by that? So you can send 10 DMs straight, and then you have to wait a full hour from the last DM till your next DM before you send another DM. So example, you send TMs, you have to wait a full hour after that last DM before you could send another set of 10 DMs. So do the math. Let's say you are doing this for 12 hours a day. Now it's not going to be full 12 hours, but let's say you're doing it at the start of every hour for 12 hours, okay? You're sending basically 120 DMs a day, right? And if you're able to do that consistently without IG action blocking you, you could try 15 DMs max in one sitting too. That's what my account does, but I know that doesn't work for some people. So just to be safe, stick with 10. But if you're consistently doing that and you want to risk potentially getting action blocked, you can raise it up to 15. So it's really up to you what you want to do. I recommend 10, but if you want to take the risk and you're consistently sending DMs, no problem, try 15 if you want. Now, I have my VA doing this, and we don't go over VA specifically in this program. That's more for one-to-many mastery. But if you already have a VA, have your VA do this. And if not, you're just gonna have to suck it up and do it. But you don't have to send 120 DMs. My bare recommendation is 50 DMs, bare minimum. Okay, so 50 DMs. That's about 10 minutes every hour for 5 hours. Okay, so that's like 50 minutes of work, less than an hour a day. Yes, it does take technically 5 hours if you count the total amount of time, but it's not really 5 hours. It's only like 10 minutes to send 10 DMs, okay? So, or 10 minutes per 10 DMs, basically. And then what exactly do we say? So to make it easier manually, I want you to add these scripts to Wordboard or Lazyboard. Lazyboard is free, Wordboard is paid. You could do either one. And so what it does, it has buttons in your keyboard on your phone so that you could just copy and paste messages without actually having to copy and paste. So let's say I'm going to show you guys real quick. All right, real quick. So like if I press these buttons, boom, 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 as you see, I'm typing a bunch of messages without anything. So just every new line is a new button on your Wordboard or Lazyboard, and that's how you're able to copy and paste messages really easily. So hey name, and then you're going to say how's it going name. Just replace this with their name. I've been doing a ton of community building lately and been wanting to connect with a lot of niche. So it's whatever your niche is. Again, it could be coaches, it could be just people if you're trying to do biz op, it could be busy moms, busy dads if you're like weight loss, It could be, again, don't recommend this, but just an example for dating, it could be college guys, whatever it is. Just whoever you're targeting, put it there. How's your year been lately? Okay, so this is like the general question. If it's like a specific time of year, like let's say it's the holidays, you could be like, how's your holidays been lately? If it's summer, you could do, how's your summer been lately? But if it is just like any other time that you can't really think of, then just do, how's your year been lately? They'll be like, blah, 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 blah. Then you acknowledge, okay? So what I mean by acknowledge is be a real human being, okay? You don't just like ask question after question without smoothing the convo a little bit, okay? So example, if someone says, how's your year been lately? And they said like, I've been great, like it's been amazing. I'm like, glad to hear it, dude. I love that you're killing it. So that's like if it's good. If they're like, I mean, it's okay, it's doing all right. I'd be like, haha, me too, man. I mean, that's what life is, ups and downs, right? Or if it is bad, I'd be like, sorry to hear that, brother. Like, that sucks to hear, blah, blah, blah. So just acknowledge whatever they said, okay? And try to match the tone. If they're positive, be positive. If it's in the middle, be middle. If they're negative, then like say sorry or sorry to hear that, blah, blah, blah. Then you say, by the way, are you working towards anything specific for insert category? So the category is just whatever is applicable to your industry. So example, if you're doing business coaching, is are you working towards anything specific for your business right now? If it is more like biz op, you could be like, by the way, are you working towards anything specific? I would probably still do business, working towards anything specific for your business or like for your income or whatever it is. Just pick a category that works best. If it is relationships or dating, it could be like, by the way, are you working towards anything specific for your relationship right now? Are you working towards anything specific for your dating life right now? Whatever it is. If it's weight loss, it could be like, by the way, are you working towards anything specific for your health right now? Or are you working towards anything specific for your physique right now? So you get it. Just pick the category. Just pick a category that makes sense for the script for your industry. Then you want to both acknowledge and relate. So we just went over acknowledge, and then you kind of want to relate to whatever they said. So if they said like, yeah, like I want to build more muscle for my physique, I'd be like, dude, that's an amazing goal. I remember when I first started, I was small as hell, and I set the same goal of getting bigger. So I definitely get that. And what do you feel you need the most help with right now to blah, blah, blah? So see how I acknowledge what they said, and then I also related to what they said. Let's say it is for biz op. They'd be like, yeah, like I really just want to make some money online. Like I hear you, bro. Like when I first started or before I made any money online, that's like the only thing I wanted to do. So I feel that. And what do you feel you need the most help with right now to blah, blah, blah? Let's say you're doing business coaching. I would be like, and they want to get more clients. I'd be like, definitely, man. Like a lot of my clients a lot of coaches I've talked to said the same thing. Just getting clients like a lot of coaches I've talked to said the same thing. Like clients is always the goal. And what do you feel you need the most help with right now to blah, blah, blah? Let's say you're doing, what have we not covered? Dating? Have we did dating? I don't think so. And let's say they just want to get their dream girl. I feel that, man. Like before I met my dream girl, that was like literally all I was thinking about. And so what do you feel you need the most help with right now to get your dream girl? Blah, blah, blah. So that's the next thing is right after you acknowledge and relate, you just say, what do you need the most help with right now to whatever they said their goal was. Okay? So if it's like getting their dream girl, you put dream girl. If they said they wanted to make more money, you would say make more money. If they wanted to get clients, you would put get clients. If they wanted to lose weight, you would put lose weight, blah, blah, blah. Then you say understood name. And then it's the same thing as a ManyChat. We're just going to customize it a bit more. Should I let you schedule a time with me for a quick call to see if and how I could help you with whatever they said their goal was to overcome whatever roadblock they said. So let's tie it in together. So let's say business coaching, they want to get more clients by getting more leads. I would say if and how I could help you with getting more clients by generating more leads. If it is business opportunity coaching, let's say make money and they just need the right guidance. I like to see if and how I could help you with starting that business by giving you the right guidance. Would that help? Let's say it is fitness and they want to lose weight and they need help with sticking to a diet. I'd be like, see if I can help you with losing weight by helping you stick with your diet. Would that help? And let's say it is dating. It could be getting your dream girl by fixing your cold approach. Okay, I don't know anything about game, to be honest. I mean, okay. Yeah, I won't even comment on that. Okay. See if I could help you with getting your dream girl by fixing your cold approach. Would that help? They say yes. And then awesome, feel free to book a time through this link. You send the calendar link. Let me know once you found a time, and I'll treat you with a cool bonus on the call. Now, you could do the script from the ManyChat sequences. It's just like, this is easier. It's 3 lines, so I just made a shorter version for you since it's manual. Now, with that being said, what is a cool bonus? You could just send them your cheat sheet on the call, but I'm gonna guarantee you 95% of them are gonna forget about the bonus, especially if you just do the regular sales framework I'm gonna show you. So you don't really have to worry about the bonus, but when in doubt, just give your lead magnet whatever you gave. All right, and then once they book, same thing, boom, just marked on my calendar, blah, 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 and you know the drill. I'm gonna put Google Meet here again, just so that you remember. I'm dropping a Zoom or Google link, blah, blah, blah. So same thing as before, I don't really have to go over this. Now that we've gone over inbound DM scripts, lead magnet, and warm outbound, there is a couple of scenarios, okay? So we gone over this before, but if you sent the calendar link, one of the reasons they don't book is simply you didn't follow up, or they forgot about it, or they were too busy. So you have to follow up. This alone will increase conversions by probably 30 to 40%. And so I actually did a study on my DMs, and 80% of the DMs that have led to sales have had at least 1 to 7 follow-ups. Think about that. 1 to 7 follow-ups have led to 80% of my sales. So if I didn't follow up, I would literally make 1/5 of what I'm making right now. Think about that, okay? So if they didn't book after 30 minutes and they already responded to the ManyChat sequence of the calendar link, then 30 minutes goes by, you say name any trouble with the calendar link. Pretty easy to do this. All you do is just mark on your Google Calendar for 30 minutes to say follow up with, and then just put their Instagram URL in the task on the Google Calendar. Then 6 to 8 hours if they didn't book, you say want to chat about this, you could tell me whatever, I'm impossible to offend. And 17 hours if not booked, you could say have you given up on this project? And then you move to regular follow-ups a day later. So regular follow-ups, these are for people that, it doesn't even have to be a calendar link, just if they left you on scene for more than 30 minutes, or if they just haven't responded, then you just say, you still with me? And you send this as a pre-recorded video at a niche location. So it just whatever location demonstrates your authority. So example, I'm a business coach, so I do need proof of concept in my background. So this is my apartment right behind me. So obviously this is like my authority background. If you are a business opportunity coach, probably same thing. Have like a good elite looking background that shows off some of your wealth. If you are a business coach, or not business coach, if you are a fitness coach, maybe do it at the gym, maybe do it at the beach with your shirt off, or if you're a girl, you know what I mean, okay? And then if you're dating, maybe out in the city with a bunch of women or whatever. Just you get what I mean. Just film at a niche location. Don't just be in your bedroom, unless you have a nice view like mine, but don't just be in your bedroom or your basement or whatever and film it. Make sure it's actually in a location that actually has proof in the background or demonstrates authority in the background. So this is gonna be 30 minutes after left on scene or 2 to 3 days later if they haven't responded. Then 2 to 3 days later after that, you're gonna say, let me know. And then 2 to 3 days later after that, you're gonna say, have you given up on this project? Now, if you already did the calendar link follow-ups, you already said, have you given up on this project? So don't say it twice, that would be weird. Now, obviously, not everything's going to be perfect, so if you are in the DMs and you get some objections, these are the most common objections. If asked for price or how much, usually I just say, honestly, I don't even like talking about that stuff until I know I'm the right fit to help you, because I don't want to receive value until I know I'm the best fit to deliver you value first. Is that fair enough? If they say I already have a coach, or I already have a mentor, or I already have I already have a blank. Cool. A lot of my clients before working with me already had their own blank. This is actually complementary to blank. Again, you just replace blank with whatever they said for I already have a coach or whatever, and not necessarily competitive. Should I let you schedule a quick call with me so I can show you how? Would that help? So when suggesting or booking a call and they ask if the call is free or what's the catch or do I need to pay anything? So the call is free and guaranteed to leave you in a better place than you were before the call with a clear custom game plan to outcome. And of course, if you need extra help and want to work with me more closely, we could talk about working together. Fair enough. So the beauty about this is you're selling the call, which is free, but you're also hinting that you might sell something at the end. So it's the best of both worlds, where they'll still book the call, but they're also pre-framed that they might be needing to invest something. Now, I remember earlier in the Calendly section, we are booking within 24 hours. So if that is the case, they might say like, can I book tomorrow? I don't see any spots for next week. You just say, we believe speed is king. The faster you go from idea to action, the faster you get results. Is today or tomorrow a problem? So you just gotta reframe it. Like, hey, like I know you wanna book later, but like we really gotta do this now if you wanna get results. And just frame it as a benefit to them. Now, of course, I will say this, after doing this, if you're getting hundreds of DMs or thousands of DMs and you're getting fully booked out, then sure, feel free to book within 48 hours or just make your Calendly questions stricter, either one. But again, I always recommend book within 24 hours because that is going to maximize show rate. Then a couple booked call scenarios. I'm also going to have to change this Google Meet too. Don't mind me. Okay. So morning of, you're going to send a pre-recorded voice memo. This is literally what I went over earlier. So same exact thing. You could either do this manually by saying this yourself or just don't say name or don't say their name and time if you're going to give it to a VA and the VA is just going to play it out on their laptop while the VA holds the voice memo button on their phone. Okay, and then I also got to do Zoom or Google Meet link. All right, and then, so that is the morning of. And so I totally forgot to mention, just make these pre-call messages part of your morning routine. So just at the end of my morning routine, when I was doing all this manually, I would just do it at the end of my morning routine to make sure, one, I establish communication with all my booked calls, and I maintain communication with all my booked calls. So general rule of thumb is you want to message them at least once per day, just every morning, just to make sure they don't forget, okay? And so we had the morning of, which we've gone over multiple times already. And then we also had the day before. So the day before, you're gonna send over a picture, okay? And the picture, if you have a whiteboard like me, use a whiteboard. If not, you could just get a piece of paper or just go to your nearest, what is it, like Staples or any sort of like Staples. I don't really know what the arts and crafts stores are, okay? I'm not that type of person, okay? Anyways, you go get a whiteboard, a paper, or a big piece of paper, and then you draw a circle in the middle, and then you put whatever dream outcome you have, or if you're a little more advanced and you know your unique mechanism, you could put your unique mechanism in the middle. Now, I will be going over mechanisms and unique mechanisms in week 2, so if you don't know that, then just put your general outcome or whatever the dream is in the middle. And then you're gonna have your three parts to your offer on the top left, top right, and bottom. Okay, top left, top right, and bottom. Now, with that being said, what should you call it? Just try to do I recommend like a 3-word noun a 3-word noun that sounds cool. That's the best way I could describe it. I wish I could call it something else. But example, mine is like you got to build an offer, you got to attract clients, and you got to enroll them to be able to make money. So I just juice it up a little bit. So signature offer system, client attraction system, and natural enrollment method. I honestly should have not used system twice. I didn't honestly realize that, but that's okay. And then number 2 is just, like I said, make it sound cool, and then just put top left, top right, and bottom, and circle it, and then just connect the dots so that it looks like you built something for them. Again, it's just commitment bias. So when someone sees that you put in effort to book the call or you put in effort to come up with a strategy for them, they feel more committed, like, oh, this person put time in me, I better show up to the call, okay? So you're gonna take a selfie. So if you have a mirror, you can do a mirror like me. My old one used to just be me being a selfie, so I just literally hold up my whiteboard and then take a selfie like this. So it really just depends what you want to do. Just make sure the entire diagram is visible, plus you have your face in it. Or if you're doing a mirror, you don't have to show your face, but at least show your body. Then you're gonna say name. Just came up with a killer strategy for you for our roadmap call. Got a good feeling you'll love it. Now, when you're sending these pictures on Instagram, I wouldn't send through the camera button, send through the gallery button. The gallery button's on the right, the camera button's on the left. The reason I like gallery is because it stays on the chat. So let's say they want to look at it again. They're just reminded in the chat every time they go back to the chat, like, oh, okay, this guy really made me a plan. And again, it just reminds them that you're committed to them. Now, 2 days before, you're going to say, yo name, stoked for our roadmap call coming up. Here's a quick cheat sheet in the meantime to get ready for the call. So it's whatever your lead magnet is. It doesn't have to be a cheat sheet. Just whatever you put for the lead magnet earlier, you're just gonna do that. All right, so here's a quick, whatever your lead magnet medium is, like training, masterclass, document, whatever it is, and then send your lead magnet link there. Now, a couple things is if it's on Zoom or Google Meet, then they might not show up directly to the Zoom or Google Meet. But that doesn't mean they're not interested, and that doesn't mean they're not showing up. They might just think that you're gonna call them. okay? So please, 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 if they didn't hop on the Zoom or Google Meet in 2 to 5 minutes, just call them, okay? Call them through FaceTime audio or WhatsApp, or if you have a CRM like Go High Level or Close, then call them through that, okay? The reason being, again, is some prospects just think you're gonna call them and they totally forget or they totally glossed over. So make sure you call them through FaceTime audio or WhatsApp. Both of these are free, okay? Versus if you actually call them directly from your phone, then if they're international, which you might have some international prospects, you might get billed a crazy phone bill, okay? So FaceTime audio uses Wi-Fi or data, same with WhatsApp. So these are gonna be a lot cheaper or even free compared to calling on your phone. So I always recommend, if your prospect doesn't show up in 2 to 5 minutes on your Zoom or Google Meet, just call them, and then usually they're gonna be like, oh shoot, I thought you were just gonna call me. Yeah, I'll hop on. And then just make sure they hop on. And if they don't pick up that first call, make sure to call at least 3 to 7 times before giving up. Sometimes they're on D&D, and if you call enough times, they're just gonna be like, oh shoot, like, this guy's calling me a lot. I should probably like see what he has to say. So again, 3 to 7 times, and then if they don't respond to any of that, or actually no, my bad. If they pick up, you could just say like, everything okay, name? We have a roadmap call scheduled for right now. So that's what you say if they pick up. And if they don't pick up, then you just simply DM them the same script. You just DM them, everything okay, name? We have a roadmap call scheduled for right now. Now, if they say something came up without asking to reschedule, you say, gotcha, name. I've been in this game for a long time now. And usually when someone says blah, 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 whatever excuse they made, it's usually a no. They don't want to hurt my feelings. Isn't that the case here? If they say, no, I swear, yeah, for sure, name. So just go ahead and schedule another roadmap call on my Calendly. You send the Calendly link. Let me know when you booked. I'll throw in a surprise bonus on the call. They say, sweet, booked, and you say, sweet, see ya, whatever time. So this is because if they say something came up and they don't ask to reschedule, it's usually like they're trying to flake, trying to be nice. So we want to get some extra commitment before we book another call and we waste each other's time. Now, if they did say something came up but they do ask to reschedule, that's usually genuine. So you just simply say, okay, for sure, name. Just go ahead and schedule another roadmap call on my Calendly. You send the Calendly link. Let me know when you booked, and I'll throw in a surprise bonus on the call. Once they book, you say, sweet, name, see you time. And then final keys to booking more calls. The faster you respond, the more money you make. If there is like one key principle to take away from DMs, it's literally just how fast can you respond. Now, that's why we have ManyChat for the inbound DMs, and that's why we're eventually going to install an AI setter. But for everything manually, just try to respond as fast as possible, okay? Number 2 is how well can you acknowledge? Again, just be human, okay? I don't have to tell you how to be human. I would hope not. But just don't be weird, okay? Just think of it like DMing a friend or like texting a friend. What do you text a friend? Being all salesy and stuff and like buy my stuff, or would you be all like emojis and stuff? Just DM like a normal person, and that's how you can acknowledge, okay? Just act like you're talking to them in person or you're DMing a friend, whatever it is, just be human. That's the best way I can describe it. Number 3. Video DM follow-up anybody who leaves you on red for more than 30 minutes. Now, this is obviously going to take some manual work, but again, 80% of my results happen through the follow-up, so this definitely does help. And then do not copy and paste full messages, break them up. I totally forgot to cover that, but every line is a new send in all these DMs, okay? So if you see here, you're not going to copy and paste the entire message directly, okay? You're gonna do how's it going, name, send. I've been doing a ton of community building, blah, 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 send. How's your year been lately, send. You acknowledge, send. By the way, are you working towards anything specific, send. So each line is a new send. You don't wanna chunk up a bunch. You never wanna have an enter in your DM. It just looks pre-planned, it looks salesy, all right? Do not copy and paste both. Send this, and then send this as multiple messages. All right, let me think about anything else here. Yeah, that is pretty much it for cash injection in terms of DMs. Now, let's talk about what do you actually say on the call. And then once we go over this, then we'll go over how exactly to get all these DMs through inbound and outbound. So, a couple things about closing calls. So I have a more advanced sales training coming up in week 7 called the Closer's Playbook. But that is going to take some time to learn, and I don't want to overwhelm you with too much stuff to learn right now, especially in week 1 when we're just trying to make some quick cash. So I have a more basic framework you could use to be able to sell right away. And again, like I said, later on in week 7, you'll be able to learn my more advanced sales training. And a lot of my best success stories, I would say that's the best part of the training. And one of my clients, Joao, who's now a sales manager for multi-million companies. We're talking companies that do $1 million to $3 million a month, not even a year, a month. He said my sales training was better than Eli Wild's Traffic and Funnels, Joshua Lyons, who else? Yeah, Jeremy Miner, Eli Wild, Traffic and Funnel, Joshua Lyons. Yeah, okay, never mind. Those 4. Okay, all right, anyways, what I'm trying to say is that he said my training is better than people making $1 million months. And people making, if not $1 million months, are already multimillionaires, either one. And he said mine is better, okay? I didn't say that, he said that. So that being said, you're gonna learn how to close really, really well at the very end of this program. But we have so much stuff to go over, and I'd rather just get you a ton of booked calls and you have a basic framework that you'll be able to learn and be able to get really quickly and get quick results. And then after we optimize everything, then we focus on just really dialing in the last part of the system of being able to close the deal. All right, so sound fair enough? Cool. Here's a more basic framework. So if you already do or have done sales calls and are comfortable with a certain framework, just use that for now and take good notes. You really just want to take notes on the facts, problem, pain, outcome. Now for the framework, you're going to build rapport. Just ask how's it going and where they're from. All right, how's it going? I'm good. How are you? I'm going great. Been amazing, blah, blah, blah. Where are you from? Like, oh, I'm based in Toronto. I'm like, oh, I'm based in Chicago. Different country or different state, but similar vibes for sure. Then you're going to say, tell me about your thing. It's just whatever you replaced with thing earlier. Remember? Like, okay, hold on. Where's inbound? I remember where's your thing at now? It's just the same thing. So like, tell me about your business, or tell me about what business you're looking to start, or tell me about your dream girl, or tell me about your dating life, or tell me about your health, tell me about your weight, tell me about blah, blah, blah. So it's basically asking them like, what is their problem without directly saying what is their problem. Because nobody likes to admit they have a problem. But if you just say, tell me about blah, 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 then they'll admit their problem by themselves. And then you could use that later. Then, where do you want X to be and where is it at now? Again, same exact thing. It's just whatever this thing is, okay? Whatever. It's like a measurable, oh, my bad. It's a measurable thing, or it's a measurable, how am I supposed to call it? It's a progress measurement, okay? It's like revenue, profit, weight, how many dates, blah, blah, blah. And if you don't have a specific progress measurement, do the scale of 1 to 10, as I mentioned earlier in this video. And where's it at now? Then you say, what do you think is missing? If you could solve one of those problems right now, which would it be? What do you think you need the most help with right now? And then do you want some help with this? And then permission to sell. Now, if you already have an offer, or if you already have a program to sell, because again, there's 2 people in this program. There's going to be coaches with an offer looking to scale, or there's going to be influencers who might have not sold anything, but they're looking to monetize. So if you're a coach, then just explain the offer in a vague high-level overview, then ask if they have any question. Then answer all the prospects' questions until they don't have any more questions left. Then you just ask for permission to state the price, and then shut up. Or you ask for permission to state the price. I'm actually write that down. Ask for permission to let them know the investment, then state the price, then shut up and wait for them to answer. So example, cool if I let you know the investment to move forward with this. They'll be like, yeah, cool. So it's only, example, let's say it's a $6,000 program. I'll be like, cool, it's only $6K USD. Or cool, it's only $2,000 now and 2 monthly payments of $2,000. Or if it's $3,000, or if it's 3,000 times 2, it'd be like, cool, it's $3,000 now and then $3,000 next month. All right, so you just state the price and then you shut up and then you wait for them to answer. If they have any other objections, you could just try objection handling, answer their questions, and then go for the close again and again and again. Like I said, I will have a way more advanced sales framework later on in this program. But for now, this is like the bare minimum you need to be able to close effectively. Now, if you are an influencer that hasn't made any money yet, or like let's say you don't have a course built out or a program built out, you're gonna sell one-on-one coaching, right? Like just literally tailor saying you'll help them out one-on-one through XYZ one-on-one calls. I usually recommend like 1 all the way to 6, depending on how much you want to price it. And just say like, look, you said you're struggling with XYZ, you want to be at ABC, and what's really slowing you down is blah, 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 blah. All right, so why don't I help you out with that? I don't really have a lot of time on this call, but I can be able to give you one-on-one consulting for XYZ price. Blah, blah, blah. And then again, just high level overview. Again, answer their questions, close the deal. So if you have a program, just close on your program. If not, then just close on one-on-one consulting for now. And then in the future, we'll be able to build out a program. And if anything, one-on-one consulting for now will help you build a better program because now you have more experience of helping real people. So either way, program, sell the program. If not, just sell one-on-one consulting, tailoring your consulting toward whatever they said. Now, if you are going to do the consulting route, make sure you don't actually tell them how to do things. I always say what, not how. What, not how, okay? So, example, how I typically close, especially for this offer, coaches and creators, is I'll say like, look, like you'll be able to get my exact ManyChat template to get inbound DMs and be able to book calls automatically. You'll get my AI setter to get that outbound game going. But do I tell them how to set up the ManyChat? Do I tell them how to set up the AI setter? No, okay? What else? If you're dating, or if you're doing dating or relationships, you can say like, yeah, like we'll be able to work on your cold approach game and get you to be able to go up to more girls without being scared. You see how you didn't say how you're gonna do it, but you said what it is, or you're not telling them like, oh, you gotta think in your head, take a deep breath and then go. No, like don't explain the method, or don't explain how, just to what. If it's fitness, right, you're not gonna tell them to do like 5 sets of incline to get your chest bigger. You're like, yeah, like we'll get you the right workout plan to make sure your chest is bigger. Right, just the what, not the how, especially for one-on-one. Do not be actually doing the coaching on this sales call. So that is for closing. And so that's the basic framework. I'll have something more advanced later on in the program. Now, we've gone over everything so far. The last bit is, if I go back to the model, we've gone over outbound, DMs, calls, money. We just now need to flood the gates with inbound. Okay, so if you have an audience, this is gonna work extremely well. If you don't have a big audience, that's fine. We'll just work on it and we'll keep growing your audience as we keep going through the program. But regardless if you have an audience or you're not, I still want you to do this because I still want you to be an action taker and follow the program exactly. Okay, so how do we get inbound DMs? So I'm gonna teach you my Instagram story method right now. Okay, so I'm gonna teach you how to do the first post, just like step by step what to do. And then I'll teach you what I call the self-filling pipeline, where I'll give you more of the principles on how to do this consistently without burning out your audience. So for your first story post, what I want you to do is delete everything on your story today, then post on your story a high quality picture of you with an Ask Me a Question sticker. And this is what I call your cash injection activation story post. And so you must do this now, first 24 hours, mandatory. Okay, so I will put this in perspective. In the past, when I was still a very immature businessman, I would actually tell my clients that I will kick you out of the program if you don't do this within 24 hours. But that was like before I really like weeded out action taker or non-action takers in the program. So if you're watching this, I've vetted you out, or at least my team has vetted you out, and we know you're an action taker. So live up to the expectation, right? You're an action taker, right? So do this within 24 hours. I don't have to force you to do it. You just know you should, okay? 24 hours, me and my team are watching. If you don't be surprised if me or my team reach out to you and ask what's up. So post this. Ask me a question, high quality picture. And then the next story after that is how we're actually gonna get DMs. So before I show you what it looks like, there's a basic formula. It's called softball question, plus I'm looking for a few more people, and then a call to action keyword. So number one is a softball question. So it's the basic principle that if someone feels like they qualified for something, they immediately have a better response because they feel special. Humans like to be special. So the thing is, if we make it too hard of a qualifier, then we're not going to get as many people to DM us. So how do we get the best of both worlds, where we're still qualifying, but we get as many people to DM? Well, guess what? We just make the qualifier applied to everybody, okay? So this qualifier is not a salesy question. So I know I said like dream outcome and result, but I actually wouldn't recommend dream outcome or result for the qualifier. Don't say, example, you're business coaching, are you looking for more leads? Or are you looking for more clients? Or if you're fitness, like, are you looking to build 10 pounds of muscle? Or if you're in dating, are you looking to get your dream girl? It's too salesy, okay? Don't do that for the softball question. The softball question is more so something really relatable and very easy to say yes to. So it's usually like, do you like blank? Or if it's something they're doing, it's like, do you blah, 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 like something they're already doing. So examples, like when I was doing my typing messages business, like selling people a business opportunity program to make money typing messages, it was like, do you like social media, right? Everybody likes social media. Do you like Instagram? If they're on Instagram, duh. Do you check your phone often? Obviously, if you're on Instagram, of course. Do you have an iPhone? Okay, so notice how it's like, it's not salesy at all. It's like, do you like blah, blah, blah? Or do you have blah, blah, blah? Or do you check your phone often? It's just a general question that applies to everybody. If it's health or weight loss, it's not, do you want to build muscle? Or do you want to lose weight? Or do you want to get six pack? It's more like, do you like ice cream? Do you like pizza? Do you like the beach? Do you eat dinner? Do you love dessert? Other things you could do, if it's like money, do you like money? Do you like crypto? Do you earn an income? Do you shop online? Do you buy stuff online? Do you order stuff from Amazon? Notice how everybody says yes to all of these things. Same thing with dating and relationships. Do you like sex? Do you, well, be careful about sex on Instagram. You might get banned. I don't really know the word, or I don't know the word filter, but just be careful with that, but you can do that. Do you like hot girls? Do you like wealthy men? Do you like talking? Do you like listening? So again, everybody's going to say yes to these questions. So just make it non-salesy and a super general question that's easy to say yes. Then the next thing is we're going to say, I'm looking for a few more blah, blah, blah. So if you're a coach already, you might have heard of like the 5130. It was famous from one of my original mentors, Taki Moore, who actually learned it from somebody else. I forgot his name. And it's just been passed down like a freaking pyramid, coach to coach to coach. It's like, I'm looking for 5 people who want result, DM me XYZ. So the 5 is good. It still works. It's just that I want you to do this more consistently. And so if we keep saying 5, then people are going to catch on like, why is this guy looking for 5 people every time? And it's not going to seem as believable. But if we just say a few more people, then one, it implies we already have people in it because we say more. And then we say few, well, what is a few? Because if you say I'm looking for a few more people 4 times a week, again, it's still true. It's still believable. More so believable than 5 people. So here's how it looks like. You're going to say, I'm looking for a few more niche who want outcome, and optional, a time frame. So example, I'm looking for a few more business owners who can handle more clients this week. I'm looking for a few more online trainers who can handle more book calls this week. I'm looking for a few more women who want to drop 3 dress sizes in the next 6 weeks. I'm looking for a few more people who want to earn an extra 2 to 3K a month from home typing messages on their phone. And not, I'm looking for a few more people who want to start a white label social media agency. So remember Maui versus TSA? We want to sell the outcome, not the mechanism. Okay, so example, when I was doing my typing messages one, notice how I don't say social media agency. That's like the mechanism. I more so sell the dream of earning 2 to 3K a month typing messages. Okay? Same thing. I'm looking for a few more people who want to earn an extra 5K a month from Shopify. Not, I'm looking for a few more people who want to find a trendy product and drop ship it on Amazon. So again, you want to sell the ultimate dream, not necessarily the pathway to get there. Next, I'm looking for a few more guys who want to go on 5 dates with 5 cute girls over the next 5 weeks. Okay? Nice and catchy. Now, on Instagram, you want to do this through text. I found that text works the best. Now, it doesn't have to be a colored background like this and text. It could be a high quality picture of you or you and a friend, and then it could also be text over it. Okay, so it's either pic or colored background or a pic of you or a pic of you and your friend. And it goes like this. Do you softball? I'm looking for a few more people who want outcome. DM me keyword if you're interested. So, example, do you like blank? I'm looking for a few more people who want outcome. DM me word if you're interested. And keynote, make sure it's a picture and not a video. So do not use any dynamic stickers that turns your picture to a video. Again, we want to get the most story views as possible. And I'm just saying from experience, make sure it is a picture. So you know how like there's like the features thing on Instagram stories, you can add all these stickers, all these countdowns, blah, blah, blah. Don't add any of that stuff. Just keep it the picture and text, and that's it. Now, optional, if you have over 1,000 followers, you could actually do a selfie style TikTok and then post it on your TikTok. Now, I did this way back in the day when I had like 300 followers on TikTok. It only got 227 views and I still got 7 inbound DMs. So imagine that, but on your TikTok, if you have thousands of followers, blah, blah, blah. So if you have 1,000 followers, you could do something like this. Can you mentor me? I'm actually looking for a few more people to work closely with who want to earn an extra 3 to 4. So again, it's just the selfie style video. If you have a cool background, do a cool background. And obviously that was way before I started going viral too. So ignore the quality and the cringe of that. All right, so you say, do you softball, whatever your softball question is. If you do, me and my team are looking for a few more people who want outcome. If you're interested, just tap the Instagram button on my profile and then DM me the word keyword to my Instagram DMs, and me or my team will get you all the details. This is something new we're doing for a few people who want outcomes. So if you're interested, tap the Instagram button on my profile and then DM me the word keyword now, and me or my team will get you the details. Boom. Okay, so that is for the first cash injection story post. I want you to do this now, okay? If you haven't posted this yet, post it now, okay? Like right now, okay? Obviously, set up your ManyChat stuff first, okay? My bad. Set up your ManyChat stuff first before you do this. Make sure your ManyChat's working, and then do this ASAP. Now, after that, how do we do this consistently? Because obviously, we don't just want to do one time and then that's it. But also, we don't want to burn out our audience doing CTAs over and over and over. So I actually have a good posting schedule to mix it up. So we have a Monday post, a Tuesday post, a Thursday post, and a Saturday post. Now, a little caveat, this isn't the only thing you post on your story, okay? Make sure you're posting things after that are more value or more that build more connection or build more value in your account. And then also number 2 is make sure you're still posting Instagram Reels, TikToks, etc. to also build value. Do not only post these stories, because if you only do that, it will burn your audience out. So we want to make sure we're doing this with a good give to ask ratio. Gary Vee says it best. Jab, 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 right hook, okay? Same thing. I usually recommend 3 to 1. Just make sure for every CTA, we have like 3 good valuable posts on your Reels or your stories, blah, blah, blah. Or at least build connection with your story, whatever. All right, so Monday, we're gonna do a poll CTA. So it's 2 softball questions and then text. So again, it doesn't have to be a colored background. I just did that for simplicity's sake, but it could be a high quality picture of you or a high quality picture of you and your friend, or you can just do a colored background. I've tested all 3, they all work the same. So do you like blank? And then you poll yes or no. Are you, another softball question. It could be another do you like blank, or it could be are you good at blah, blah, blah. Yes or no? If you answered yes, I'm looking for a few more people who want outcome. DM me word if you're interested, okay? So it could be any softball question that we went over earlier, okay? It doesn't have to be these specific frameworks. Then on Tuesday, you're gonna do the same exact type of like cash injection story post that we did earlier. It's just, do you like blank? Whatever your softball question is. I'm looking for a few more people who want outcome. DM me word if you're interested. And then if you wanna do these arrows, feel free. I just think it looks cool, but you don't really have to. Then hope you had a good day, good night. Whenever you're ready, DM me word if you like outcome. So you're gonna do this on Thursday night. Usually it's like right before you sleep, or just whenever you end the day. And what I do is, since I have like a nice apartment with a nice view, I show like my apartment view at nighttime. But if not, it could just be a normal picture, or it could just be something about nighttime, or it doesn't matter. It could even be a colored background like this. So just hope you had a good day, good night. Whenever you're ready, DM me word if you like outcome. I know it seems stupid. Trust me, I thought it was stupid when I first saw this, but I tried it. And I've closed so many clients through this. I don't know. It just seems like so non-salesy. Like, oh, this guy said good night to me. And then they DM you, and then you book a call and you close them. It's funny, but it works. And then on Saturday, remember the lead magnets that we made? Now we actually get to use it. So it's the lead magnet CTA. Do you like blank? I just made a cheat sheet. It doesn't have to be a cheat sheet, by the way. It could be whatever your lead magnet medium is. Training, masterclass, free course, document, cheat sheet, whatever. I just made a blank on and then whatever your title of the cheat sheet or title of the lead magnet is. It doesn't have to be 3 shortcuts to whatever result, just whatever you called it, right? It could be the 5 tips for busy dads to lose weight. Or I just made a free masterclass on the 3 hacks to make money online. I just made a free training on the 5 ways to get girls to like you. Or I just made a free course on the 3 systems to get more clients this week. So as you see, you could just customize it, right? Just whatever medium your lead magnet is and whatever the title is. And then DM me whatever your keyword you chose on ManyChat for your lead magnet. It doesn't have to be gift, just whatever you chose for your free copy. And then you're gonna get a ton of people DMing you that way. Now, just like we did the ask me a question with a high quality picture to get more story views, here's a couple more ways to do that. So you always want to do what we call a tide raiser. This is the first story of the day, and the more the story applies to everybody, the better, and the more views it gets. So the basic principle is we just want to post a story that gets a ton of views to start, and then all those views will trickle into every story after. Versus if we do a CTA right away, it's not going to get that many views, first of all, and then every story after is also just not going to get as many views. So it's a tide raiser, as the name says. It raises the tides so that you get more views on all your stories. Okay? So number one is you could have a photo collage plus tagging your friends. Let's say you had a fun weekend or like you did some fun things with your friends. Make sure you take a couple photos and then tag them. This gets probably the most views ever. I have, as of recording this, I have 460,000 followers on Instagram. And at one point, I think this story got 100-something thousand views. Okay, like over 100,000 views. For me, that's pretty good. I'll take 100,000 views any day on a story. Not on, like, obviously I'll take it on a reel, but a story is crazy, right? Because that's like my own audience coming there. So that is photo collage plus tagging friends. You could also add text if you want to give some context. Or if you ever see like someone do an add yours on your Instagram story, you could do a photo collage plus tagging friends plus an add yours. As you see here, someone did an October dump, I did mine, and boom, easy story views. Well, you could also do a poll, preferably with a friend. So over here, it's me and one of my best friends, and we traveled to Costa Rica. So I made a story. Would you rather travel to Costa Rica or Europe? And so notice how the poll is general, or the poll is general to anybody. Like anybody could answer that, whether it is someone in my niche or not, right? And think about like any niche or any industry, okay? So let's say you're a business coach, right? Can someone answer, or can someone outside, someone interested in being in business, answer Costa Rica or Europe? Of course they can. Can someone interested in starting to make money online? Or can someone not interested in making money online still answer this? Yes. Can someone not interested in fitness or weight loss still answer this? Yes. Can someone not interested in dating or game, whatever, answer this? Yes. So again, you want to make these questions like super broad, like super general, that literally anybody that sees your story can answer it. Okay? Next is a slider, preferably with a friend. Same exact thing is, would you watch our reality TV show? Anybody could answer that. So again, keep it super general, super broad. And then notice how, again, I'm like with friends. And the reason I always say like with a friend usually is because think about the name, social media, right? You want to be social. And so just that social proof of like hanging out with people just implies like you're living the life. But also number two, it just implies like you're a real trustworthy human being. Like if these people want to be friends with you, you're at least bare minimum like a good friend, or at least bare minimum you have friends and I could at least trust you a little bit more. Versus if you're all by yourself, you kind of look like the kid. Okay, low-key, maybe I was one of them. Not really, but kind of. Where you look like the kid sitting alone at a lunch table. You don't want to be that guy. I'm sorry if you were. I think I was at one point. But you don't want to be that guy, at least on social media. You want to look like you're the popular kid, or like you have these friends, because that's going to get more views, and people are going to want to watch someone that actually live in that life with friends. And then finally, the ask me a question. This could be with you, or this could be with a friend, preferably with a friend, but same thing, just a regular ask me a question just like that. So like I said, you want to post these first thing as the first story every time to get more views. And then you post your CTA, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday. Yeah, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. And then again, just make sure jab, 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 right hook, right? Give, then ask, okay? So make sure you're posting other value or connection story posts. Make sure you're posting value or connection reels and TikToks, just to make sure your give, ask ratio in terms of providing value and providing connection, and then CTAing is all good, like usually 3-to-1. Okay, so that is it for the self-fulfilling pipeline post. Now let's tie it in all together. So tangibly, what do you do? So 1, set up and customize your ManyChat templates from the direct CTA one for inbound, and also the lead magnet CTA ones for the lead magnet. Then once you set up your ManyChat templates, post your activation IG story posts with the ask me a question, and then the I'm looking for a few more people posts. And if you're good on TikTok, also do the TikTok selfie style video. Then you warm outreach all potential prospects that follow you, watch your stories, comment on your most recent posts, or like your most recent post. And remember, it's 10 DMs in one sitting, wait a full day, 10 DMs in one sitting, wait a full day, 10 DMs in one sitting, blah, blah, blah. And if you have a VA, you could have your VA do it, but if not, you're gonna have to do this manually. Get Whiteboard or Lazyboard to be able to just copy and paste the messages very easily. And then, let me think about anything else here. And then bare minimum, at least do 50 warm outbound DMs a day. This will probably take about 50 minutes total time required in terms of effort, But obviously it's going to be 5 hours or more than 5 hours just because you have to space every DM out or every 10 DMs out by a full hour. Okay? Then once you do, post in the community, cash injection activated, baby, with the $sign and the check mark. This is just for me and my team to keep track of who actually is putting in work and implementing, because we've always found that the people that actually do this, even if they don't have a huge audience, get the best results because they show us early on that they're committed and they're an action taker. If you don't post this within 24 hours, we are actually going to wonder what is going on with XYZ. What is going on with bro? Is he doing it? Is he an action taker? What's going on? And so do not be surprised if we reach out to you. I'm not saying we will, but do not be surprised if we reach out to you asking you like, yo, what's going on? I thought you were an action taker. Then once you do all of that, then you continue posting 4 Instagram stories CTAs a week using the self-filling pipeline post schedule. All right, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, and make sure you're still posting value and connection posts in between and after, just so that we still have that good give to ask ratio and we don't burn out your audience. Okay, so that is the warm traffic system. I know this is a long video, but I've had fun making it because this system by itself has made me so much freaking money, and I want to simply pass it down to you. Now, like I said, 2 scenarios. This could go amazingly well for you. You get a quick ROI, you're able to chill, you're able to relax now. I mean, don't chill and relax, but you're able to breathe easily knowing you made your investment back your first week, and now all the money you make after this is all house money. It's all profit going straight to your bank account. But for everything else, or for people that don't get great results with this, maybe you don't have the audience. That's fine. We've had people with no audience before, and we help them build it up to be able to do this eventually, right? Even if you don't have an audience, I still need you to do all these action steps. No excuse, okay? But let's say you don't have an audience, or maybe your systems aren't dialed, or maybe you don't have a program yet, or maybe your messaging is off, or maybe your niche is off. Whatever it is, don't worry. Weeks 2 to 7, we're gonna help restructure and rebuild everything the right way so that you will get results with this. Now, obviously I can't make income claims because, again, that's illegal, but I will give you all the systems that work for me and work for hundreds of my clients to scale, have fun, level up, and get more clients themselves, okay? So regardless, just focus on what you can control. Do all the action steps I tell you, put in all the work, and if it's great, amazing, let's go. We're gonna keep scaling that, and if not, that's all good. We'll restructure everything, rebuild everything to make sure everything's right. And by the way, when I say restructuring and rebuilding for my more advanced people, we're not gonna completely scrap out what's already working. More so, we're just gonna be optimizing everything. And if we do think we need a better niche or a better ICP, or you're not getting financially qualified people to book calls, or you're getting brokies on calls, whatever it is, then we might do a couple rebuilding here or there. So it really depends on your situation, but don't worry, you guys will see weeks 2 to 7 is gonna be amazing, okay? But we still have a lot more to go in week 1 in terms of other cash injection plays. So this isn't the only thing that will help you be able to get more clients and see an ROI fast this week. We got other things I got as backups that you also must do to complete this week. So other than that, I hope you had an amazing time. I definitely did. And I look forward to seeing all your results, plus seeing your cash injection activated posts in the community. I'll see you in the next video.